The night was cool in Lagos when Daniel Kingsley drove his black SUV out of the city. He had just finished a business meeting, but his mind was not on the numbers. His heart was heavy. Despite his wealth, he felt empty. He had a wife, Cynthia, who loved luxury, and a mother, Mama Rose, who still lived in the village. For a long time, he had avoided going home. But that night, he decided it was time. He told Cynthia, "We will go to the village tomorrow. Mama has been alone for too long." Cynthia looked at him with wide eyes. "Village? Daniel, I cannot stay in a place without light, without comfort. I'm not made for that life." Daniel sighed. "It is only for a short time. Mama wants to see us. She deserves respect." Cynthia rolled her eyes, but said nothing more. The next morning, they left the city. Daniel drove carefully as the road changed from smooth tar to rough, dusty paths. Tall palm trees lined the way, and children ran barefoot, waving at the car. Daniel smiled. "This is home," he whispered. When they arrived, Mama Rose came out slowly, holding her walking stick. Her wrapper was old, her blouse faded, but her smile was wide. She stretched her arms. "My son, welcome. You have finally come home." Daniel dropped his bag and ran to her. He knelt and hugged her tightly. "Mama, I have missed you." Cynthia stood aside, frowning. The air smelled of firewood smoke, and the compound looked small compared to their mansion in Lagos. She muttered under her breath, "So this is the place." Mama Rose noticed, but said nothing. She only looked at her son's wife and said kindly, "You are welcome, my daughter. Come inside." They entered the small mud house. The living room had a wooden chair, an old table, and a kerosene lantern. Cynthia refused to sit. "Daniel, I cannot stay in this house. It is too hot, too small, too dirty. I need a hotel." Daniel frowned. "This is Mama's house. Show respect." Mama Rose placed a hand on his shoulder. "Leave her. Let her rest." That night, Mama Rose prepared pounded yam with vegetable soup. She served it on the wooden table. Daniel ate happily, remembering his childhood. "Mama, this is the best food in the world," he said. But Cynthia pushed her plate away. "I cannot eat this local food. Where's chicken and salad? Where's wine?" Mama Rose lowered her eyes. She said gently, "This food is fresh from the farm. It is good for the body." But Cynthia hissed and left the table. Days passed, and Cynthia grew more bitter. She complained about fetching water, complained about the noise of goats, and complained about sleeping on a foam bed instead of their big mattress in Lagos. One afternoon, Mama Rose asked Cynthia, "My daughter, help me wash these plates." Cynthia looked at her with disgust. "I'm not a maid. I married Daniel, not this house." Mama Rose said nothing. She simply took the plates and washed them slowly, her weak hands trembling in the soapy water. Daniel returned home that evening and saw his mother tired. He asked Mama what happened. Mama smiled faintly. "Nothing, my son. I am fine." But he knew. He looked at Cynthia, who sat painting her nails. He said softly, "Cynthia, you must honor my mother." Cynthia snapped. "I will not waste my life in this village. Daniel, I am leaving. You can stay here if you like, but I'm going back to Lagos." Daniel's heart broke. He begged her to stay, but she refused. She packed her bag and entered a taxi that same night. Mama Rose saw her son's pain and held his hand. "My son, do not cry. Marriage is a test. A woman's true heart shows in how she treats family." For weeks, Daniel stayed in the village. He worked on the farm with the villagers, carried firewood, and fetched water with children. He ate roasted corn by the roadside and sat with old men under the mango tree. For the first time in years, he felt alive. But at night, when he lay on his mat, he thought of Cynthia. He remembered her laughter, her touch, the days they were happy. He prayed silently. "God, if her heart can change, bring her back. If not, give me strength to let go." Meanwhile, in Lagos, Cynthia enjoyed freedom for a while. She went to parties, wore fine clothes, and told her friends she would never go back to that dirty village. But soon, loneliness caught her. Daniel did not call her. He did not send money. Her friends mocked her behind her back. She realized she had a husband, but no respect for his roots. One evening, Cynthia sat alone in her fine apartment. Tears filled her eyes. She whispered, "Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was blind." She packed her bag and returned to the village. When she arrived, the sun was setting. She saw Daniel outside, helping Mama Rose pound yam. His shirt was wet with sweat, his hands strong, his face peaceful. She stood at the gate, ashamed. Daniel looked up and froze. His eyes met hers. For a long time, no one spoke. Then Cynthia knelt on the ground and cried, "Daniel, I am sorry. Mama, forgive me. I was proud, I was foolish. Please, give me another chance." Mama Rose dropped the pestle and walked slowly to her. She lifted Cynthia with her weak hands. "My daughter, stand. A woman is not measured by wealth, but by humility. If your heart is truly changed, you are welcome." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He walked to his wife and held her hands. "Cynthia, I only wanted you to love my mother. Can you do that now?" Cynthia nodded quickly. Yes. From today, I will serve her as my own mother. From that day, things changed. Cynthia began helping Mama Rose with cooking, washing, and farming. She fetched water with the village women. At first they laughed at her soft hands, but soon she became one of them. Daniel watched with joy. His wife's pride melted, and her love grew strong. Months later, Mama Rose became ill. Cynthia cared for her night and day. She cooked her favorite meals, massaged her legs, and sang to her at night. Mama Rose smiled weakly and said, "Now I know you are truly my daughter." When Mama Rose passed peacefully in her sleep, Cynthia wept the loudest. She held Daniel's hand and said, "Your mother taught me what no city life ever could. Humility, patience, love." Daniel buried his mother with honor, and the whole village came to pay respect. After the burial, he stood with Cynthia beside Mama's grave. He whispered, "We will keep her lessons forever." Cynthia nodded, tears rolling down her cheeks. When they returned to Lagos, their marriage was stronger. Cynthia no longer chased parties or luxury. She stood by Daniel's side, supported his work, and welcomed the poor into their home. And every year, they went back to the village to honor Mama Rose's memory. In the end, the billionaire's true wealth was not his cars, his houses, or his money. It was the lesson of family, the strength of humility, and the power of forgiveness.